Welcome to today's episode. I'm Denise Thomas, your debt-free college coach. And if you've been following me, you know that there's more to the success for your high school and college student than just, finding the money. Today, we have Jude Sandvall. Jude is a divorced single father of three whose divorce and subsequent years became a case study in facing and overcoming the most difficult challenges in learning to thrive after divorce, including the court process, parenting skills, co-parenting, dating with kids, and more. As an integrative wellness and life transformation coach and integrative NLP practitioner, he uses cutting-edge approaches to coaching dads and will assist you in creating a crystal clear vision for your life after divorce, uncover hidden challenges that may be sabotaging you, and leave you renewed, re-energized, and inspired. Welcome, Jude. I'm so glad to have you with us today.
Denise, it's a great pleasure to be here. I appreciate it.
Well, Jude, tell us about yourself. What did you go through? How long were you married? How old are your kids, etc.?
Oh my. So yes, I was married for 11 years and I have three lovely daughters. They are now 15, 13, and my youngest baby is going to be 11 next Thursday or this coming Thursday. So all in that preteen years, which is fun, exciting, and challenging. And I've been divorced now. It'll be 9 years in July. So it's been I'm almost divorced as long as I was married. So that's it's kind of interesting. So it's having that those years of marriage and relationship, and then having as much input and understanding of divorce after and co-parenting and all the issues after. So it's quite interesting.
Well, what kind of things did you go through initially when you were, either realizing divorce was, imminent, and then right afterwards? How did that affect you as a dad?
So for me, and what I find with a lot of the men that I work with, in what was one of the impetuses for me to get involved in helping dads who are going through divorce or are divorced, is that it is a chaotic, challenging time. And that is for everybody, right? For the children, for either spouse. But for men, what I experienced and what I have found with other men is, because our masculine natures, and when I say masculine nature, I was just talking about masculine tendencies, right? Masculine energies versus feminine energies. We're very orderly, we're very direction oriented, we're very, systematic. And going through a divorce just absolutely turns that upside down, right? It's a chaotic time, it's uncertain, you don't know what's going on, and that creates an awful lot of fear and worry and depression. I mean, all kinds of emotions that, sometimes, and depending on the men, are not really very good at handling, or haven't learned how to handle, or don't know how to go through it. And so that's why I started doing what I'm doing, is to provide a way in which men can connect with other men that are going through divorce or have been divorced, and then start the process. Because especially with dads, I've found that they are very open to learning and understanding what happened and how they can create a better way forward, particularly because they have children, right?
In thinking about dads versus moms in going through divorce, of course, as a woman, I've noticed that there are a number of opportunities for women to get help in understanding what happened and how to go through these challenges and how to thrive basically afterwards. But I don't see a lot of opportunities for men. Is it just me, or did we miss something in society, realizing that, hey, men really need something too?
No, you're absolutely right. And I just had a man connect with me this week that said, I just going through a divorce, and I started Googling stuff, and I couldn't find anything, except your show, your podcast, and your YouTube channel. And so, and there is more than that, most definitely. It's kind of scattered about, and with the World Wide Web, I find stuff that's scattered all across the world. It seems like maybe in the European countries there might be a little more of some resources out there, but that's absolutely positively true. You can find books and support groups and shelters or whatever else for women, and there's very few resources out there for men. So part of my goal is to kind of aggregate all of that into one place under the Divorced Dadvocate kind of banner, where they can come and find whatever that might be, if it's therapy or coaching or seminars or ways to help their children get through college without any debts or whatever that may be, right?
What can you tell us are what I would call the wins that fathers should be looking toward as the greatest results? What are the benefits of coming to you or somebody like yourself that basically has figured this out?
Okay, first, let's just clarify. I have not figured anything out. I am going through this as everybody else is going through this. Now, I might be 9 years down the road and have a little more, a little more experience under my belt and a lot more gray hair, but I definitely don't have anything figured out. And I would actually even say that it is as much of a learning experience, and I learn every day working with the amazing men that I work with, that as they might be learning from me. But really, the thing that I have found that is so critical, and it seems to be the reason that many men come to me and come to wanting to find help during this, is because it has a profound impact on their children. And they have realized that they can have a positive impact through this process. And I talk about it as an opportunity, which sometimes when you're in it, they look at me like, what are you talking about? How is this ever an opportunity for me? Which is understandable when you're going through it, and it's challenging. But if you can get yourself righted and get yourself creating a vision and direction for where you want to go, it can be a phenomenal opportunity, particularly for creating a relationship with your children and modeling and being an example for your children of how to go through a challenging life, a life circumstance. And we know, that we're always going to be faced with life challenges. And this is one of the ones that ranks up there as like one of the top one or two that is the most stressful. But if they can get through that, that is going to have a profound impact on their children. And the other thing is that how important it is as a father to be involved in their children's lives. There are studies after studies and research that shows that children thrive when they have fathers that are in healthy relationships with them and involved with their lives.
Excellent. I'm glad to hear that. Now, I guess the other question too, you have younger children. Would going through some of this type of support, would it be helpful for dads that maybe have older children that are out of the house already? Or is it just for those that have younger kids?
Absolutely. And the dynamics are obviously different, but I have men that come with very young infants and men that come with teens. And there's always different challenges, obviously, but there's also different opportunities that you can have with those. So I've had my daughters were, I think, 6, 4, and 2, somewhere around there, when when we divorced. And so that was obviously different, and the challenges there in understanding how to go through that, and the opportunities and the lessons that we're able to learn were different than the ones that we're learning now. But there's still opportunity now. We still have, I'm still having challenges, right? Co-parenting, and as with teen daughters, they're having challenges with everything that goes in being a teen, whether that's with their mother or with me or with school. So there's still opportunity. And if you can take the perspective of there is a lesson in every challenge. And that for me was a big aha moment. Like when I finally just reframed it as, okay, what is this supposed to be teaching me? As opposed to, oh, why is this happening to me? And when I made that shift, and it took me a long time, trust me, I basically did everything wrong from the start of my divorce till I had this aha and several other aha moments, to then say, oh, okay, yeah, what is this supposed to be teaching me? And the great example that I use with all of my men that is you can't argue is I've gone through all of this HELL, and like I would have never picked it, except that now I can use this to help so many men in going through this process. Whereas if I hadn't gone through it, there's absolutely no way. I could have speculated about it. I could have talked about it. We could have, maybe made some stuff up, but there's no way. And so I look back and I go, it's really been a blessing for me. And it continues to happen. Seriously, I just last week learning some lessons, going through a new court process. So it continues to happen. But now instead of going through this stressful court process, I'm going, okay, well, what can I learn from this? And then I can carry this forward and take this back to somebody else that's going through it. So
You're absolutely right about that. And my bankruptcy and subsequent complete loss of everything financial is what took me to the place that I'm in right now, where I can help other families put their kids through college debt free. I would never have gone through the effort and the research that was necessary to have this happen for my kids and be able to help other families. It just wouldn't have happened. So yeah, being able to turn that around and realize where's the blessing, where is the good in what I am going through is
yeah.
really an excellent way to be able to handle certain types of stresses. So what would you say are the biggest challenges that divorced or divorcing dads are facing in being able to thrive post-divorce?
So the first thing I would say is in one of the first steps that I work with them on is really creating a vision and direction for what the process is going to look like going through divorce, what they would like it to, how they would like it to happen, and what their life after divorce is going to look like, or what they would like it to look like. What's the biggest challenge? Having it be chaotic and then having this big change, oftentimes they're just kind of stuck, right? They're stuck in, this is not going to be the way that it used to be. And then I don't know what is going to happen in the future. And then they're just kind of like stuck there. So creating that vision and direction, and then strategizing would be a next step of how you're going to go through that process and how you're going to, get to that place you want to be. Then trying to upgrade your skills around that. For instance, I had to learn how to be a dad by myself. And that's, every man that's getting a divorce, where you might have had a partner and you kind of had shared things, it's a whole different ball game. And I'm not telling anybody that hasn't been through divorce anything they don't already know. But lots of times for men, that's a little more challenging, particularly if they have been the ones that have been out working most of the time, not doing any of the stuff around the house. So this completely is different. We even, some of our groups, we talk about like what we should be cooking or how we can cook quick, easy meals around work schedules or kids schedules or stuff like that. So sometimes it gets into the minutia of that and kind of surface level stuff like that. But really, mostly we'll get down into mindset stuff, like we talked about, finding this as an opportunity, creating that vision, and then going through the steps. And I have a step process that I take them through. And then the last step is mastering your psychology around it, which is the last step because it is the most challenging. But once you can do that, you're really, that opportunity there to really flourish is phenomenal.
Well, Jude, that sounds fantastic. And I'm so glad that you're offering this service to the gentlemen in our lives. Now, you've got something really cool coming up. It's a workshop for men. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, it is called Divorced Dad's Fresh Start Workshop. It's a 45-minute free workshop. And really it's that mindset. We're talking about how to get over your ex, how to not be codependent, how to start rebuilding your life, all of those issues. And it's short, it's brief, and it just will give you an opportunity if you're in that place of chaos and fear and not knowing what's going on, to be with some other men and talk about that and talk about really getting grounded and starting just on the road of creating a path and direction of where you want. And if anybody wants information about it, the website is Divorced Dads with an S, Divorced Dads Fresh Start.com. If you can't make the workshop, sign up anyway, because I will send a recording of it to you also. So I know that it's going to be live. So this isn't just a recorded thing that you go to. It's going to be live. I'm going to be there. We're going to have the other men in there talking as well. But if you can't make it, definitely sign up, because it's valuable information that you can listen to on your own as well.
That's fabulous. And if you happen to catch this episode past the event date, sign
Yes.
up, because you'll have a chance to not only see the recording, but to be able to get in touch with Jude and pick his brain a little bit and get on your feet. Really happy to have you with us, Jude. Thank you again.
My pleasure, Denise. And I'll just say one thing. You can always check back to the Divorced Dads Fresh Start.com website, because I'll update the workshops, because we'll be doing more and more and more in the future as well. This one's just coming up on May 5th, but we'll have more in the future as well. So Denise, it was such a pleasure. I really appreciate the opportunity.